Did God react to their circumstances, or did God create those circumstances? Now, some of you are already thinking of where we're going. Deuteronomy chapter 8. At the end of 40 years in the desert, as Moses was preparing the next generation of Israel to go into the promised land, he revisited everything that had happened in the wilderness of Sin. See, when you get to Deuteronomy 8, you have to go back to Exodus 16, because that's what Moses is addressing. 40 years later, he's saying, here's what happened to your parents. Let me make sure you understand exactly what was going on. They didn't run out of water out of food, and God sent manna. So he humbled you. He allowed or caused you to hunger, and fed you with manna, which you did not know, nor did your fathers know, that he might make you know that man shall not live by bread alone, but man lives by every word that proceeds from the mouth of God. God allowed them to hunger. God created the circumstance that caused the tension because he wanted to do something more for them than what they were hoping for, more than what they were looking for. And here's the big one, more than they would have been satisfied with. He wanted to do more than they would have settled for. Because there are some things in our lives that we've gotten to the point where we have chosen disappointment, that we have chosen weariness, we have chosen weakness, and we've said, I'd settle for a little of this. I would settle for a pot of meat around the fire in Egypt. I would settle for some bread in slavery. I would settle for a meal. And God's saying, I'm not coming to give you a meal. I'm coming to change your heart, and I'm coming to show you mine. He's coming to give us something that we didn't even know we needed, and we didn't even know we were allowed to have. You could be nourished by the mouth of God. Remember, this was a people that were still hearing from Moses. They'd spent 430 years in slavery between Jacob and Moses coming. There was this time where they didn't know, quite honestly, who God was anymore. Not in depth. They still had some of the stories. They still had some of the traditions. They still, I'm sure, clung to a few of the promises, but they hadn't known him. And so God was saying that I've got to take away what you rely upon so that you can learn that I'll give you more than you're willing to settle for. And he's doing that in some of our lives right now. He's taking away what we've relied upon because he says, I don't want you to settle for that. And I believe he's saying, stop falsely being humble and acting like, you know what, this would be enough for me. I don't want you to have enough. I want you to have abundance. Jesus said, fear not, little flock, my Father, it is his good pleasure to give you the kingdom. He came that we would have life and have it abundantly. It is not enough for us to say, I'd settle for a little of this. He wants to give us all of himself.